I saw there that all of those benefits are more on local taxes, financial benefits, more on local taxes. But maybe if we can also ask Bina Energy, their main office being not Bina Energy, but Gemini Energy, if their main office can be in Cagayan City, so that their BIR registration would be also here in our province, and that their payment of national taxes will be paid through our BIR here. That would somehow lessen the target that is being asked from our local businessmen in the province. Kasi masyado na ano yung mga, yun na talaga yung reklamo. So, the target of BIR is so high. Like, our partner sa Cagayan City Water District is a subsidiary of Manila Water. They really registered their company here in Calvario, local yung registration, so that their payment of national taxes would be here in our province. So that's one. And then second, Governor, we also explained this to Bishop before. Our request really is if the provincial government can help us convince Bina Energy to leave the protected area, to move the wind turbines away from the protected area. Na sana doon na lang sa ibang area outside of the Pandas-Hayban protected area, yung wind turbines na ito construct. Kasi aside from this one, this is the existing Pandas intake dam, where we get all of the water that we supply to the city of Calvario. Although meron pa kaming other two sources, the Pasungan Falls and the Hamangini River, there is one here, somewhere here, in Barangay Lungsod. There is a falls there called Manlulubog Falls, and we are going to start developing that site as source of water supply of the city of Calvario. So we already have permit from NWRB, the National Water Resource Board, to get water from that falls, Manlulubog Falls. And that is very near here, somewhere here. So that is really our request, Governor. If we can ask Bina Energy not to put the wind turbines within the protected area, even if that is already classified as multi-use zone. We have nothing against the project. We are for it. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, and I also told Bishop before, I'm in negotiation with Gemini Energy. So I met some of the representatives also for the acquisition of some parcels of land where they're going to put up towers for their transmission lines. So it's from them that I learned it's actually 15 wind turbines that they're going to build. That's according to Sir Benji Talisana. It's 15 wind turbines, not 12. That's what he told me. Okay. Last month when I talked to him, he said it's 15. And if you will allow us, I would like to ask also Sir Carol to repeat his presentation earlier. Wait. Before Sir Harold, Sir Fernand Aribol, the operations manager of Cabayong Water Company, the partner of Cabayong Water District. He also has a presentation regarding the water supply in Cabayong.
Mau malapit na yan side.
Morning po. Morning po. Good morning. ay mga working bench na rin. Ayan. So, more than 2% water source update na sa Calvario. So, we have 3 water sources, Pasupon, Panas, and Kabutuan Pumping Station. So, all of these ay nandito po yung Hamonini, Pasupon, and then Panas. Tapos soon, na i-develop natin is yung Panlulupo. So, lahat po yan na water sources ni Calvario City ay galing po dito sa bundok, sa protected area namin. So, as ano natin, history ni Calvario City, increasing po ang demand ni Calvario. And then, we cannot afford na when nag-increase yung demand sa water, pababa naman yung water sources natin. Tapos, as you remember, during last year sa El Nino, grabe po yung effort dito sa Calvario. Pag normal, ganito po siya, nung El Nino, wala namang tubig. Inisip namin how much more if i-develop natin yung mga MUC natin doon, lalagyan ng wind turbine. So yung mga habitat, yung mga animals na doon, baka mawala na. So, mapuputol yung tubig natin, wala na po tayo makukuha. So, pag tumaan ulit yung El Nino, meron na tayong wind turbine, baka wala na tayong tubig sa Calvario. Again, sa sinabi kanina ni attorney, hindi po kami against sa wind turbine, yung nano lang namin is the location po. So, ito po, ito yung picture ng El Nino, ito yung normal pag El Nino ganito. Tapos, pag sa Panas, ito pa yung Panas is 3 by 4. Malit lang to, malaki lang sa picture. Pero malit lang po siya. Ang sarap po ng tubig dito. Napakasarap yung tubig dito sa taas. Tapos, yung Hamonini River po natin during El Nino, yung elevation niya dun sa itong intake box natin, maliit na lang, maliit na lang po. So, sa ngayon po, nagkakaroon po tayo ng mga water interruptions dito sa Calvario. Lalo na pag umulan ng malakas. Bakit? Kasi meron na tayong mga tinatawag na soil erosion dun sa taas. Tapos, every time na last week, wala tayong Panas source. So, dahil ito na yung mga bato na mahulog na galing sa taas. May kararoon pa ng soil erosion. Sa ngayon pala, how much more po, nalagyan natin ng road, maglagay na tayo ng tourist spot doon sa taas. Tapos, sa pagkakalam ko, yung pinakita kanina ni GM is about yung foundation pa lang na mentor pa yung isa. Masyado na pong malawak. So, marami pong puno yung mapuputulan. So far, yun lang po yung presentation. Thank you.
Bago tuturo sa pagkakanan of Bishop, the DNR people, from Board of Investment, and the Lighthouses and Harold Mercurio, faculty member for Summer State University, and researcher on watershed management and reforestation project. So we're very glad that the governor has made herself available for this consultation, for this conversation, okay? Because we're looking for a win-win solution to our electric power needs and water supply needs. So, ang sentimento po sa mga Calvario is umayok kay governor nga makahuli ko ta pagkabayaan sin pantay ng pagkita sa katong paminahanglan when it comes to electric power generation through green energy production, and at the same time for a long-term vision on how we can protect and secure an abundant supply of water for Calvario and adjoining municipalities for Samar. So we want that they would also acknowledge existing problems in Calvario City. One is catastrophic flooding during rainy season, which happened in 2018 with Usman's truck. Kakanahaw, an upstream barangay, suffered extreme losses. Out of 87 households, 80 houses were washed away by extreme flooding. 7 died, and many people lost their livelihood, and so much destruction happened to the lower layers of the strata, specifically downstream. So during dry season, it's the reverse. We lack water supply. Our irrigation supplied rice fields run dry. So extreme talaga yung effect, at ito yung mga realities on the ground. Now, we like to point out that it's not only in Calvario City that's merong wind energy project. We also learned that in Northern Samar, mas malaki-laki daw yata yung project na isa lang. Sa atin, marami. Yung Aboitiz din daw mayroong project doon na pinapropose. Wala. Okay, so these are just figures from Northern Samar. But anyway, there are 3 things that I like to point out. When investors came to Northern Samar, according to the Economic Development and Investment Head nila, dinid down agad ni Governor Chuan na you can construct anything and anywhere in Northern Samar for the sake of revenue and power generation supply, except in the protected area. Dahil na priority nila i-protect yung ating natural environment following the principle of responsible urban development. And kung titignan yung mga application, yung proposal ng mga private firms, talagang walang inilagay na proposal na within the very level sa protected area. Second is, they were able to maximize the benefits, because we all know that the Imperial law says na pag more than 10 megawatts of production ng isang company, hindi papasok na yan. Hindi po pwede na directly yung power na ma-generate i-inject sa power grid. Yes, dahil meron na tayong merkado ng power supply. Pero according to John Allen Carbon, siya yung nasa investment at saka nasa economic development planning ng Northern Samar, they were able to make a deal with a certain company na maka-benefit directly yung North Metro dahil meron pong packet proposal, small scale na solar or wind power na gusto nilang ma-develop doon, na kung saan 8 megawatts lang, hindi umabot ng 10 megawatts yung napuproduce. Kaya may talagang direct na benefit yung community or yung province sa project na yun. Dahil i-inject direct na sa grid yung mapuproduce na power, hindi na mag-aantay na bumili pa doon sa main source. That's second. And number 3 is, yung problem talaga dito sa Calvario ay water supply. So, makakaproduce po tayo ng green energy. However, mukhang nakalimutan yung pag-protect sa environment dahil pumasok na sa protected area itong 13 wind turbines. So, apektado ngayon ang Calvario waters dahil magkakaroon tayo ng abundant supply ng electrical power, pero mawawala o bababa naman yung supply ng tubig. So, yung point ko namin is, magkaroon po sana ng cost-benefit analysis at saka sana makita din ng provincial government na kung importante ang pag-produce ng electricity, importante din po ang pag-protect ng aming supply ng source ng tubig. And at the same time, to protect the high concentration of biodiversity sa protected area. So, during the public meeting, which I have attended several times, I raised the idea, pwede po bang ilagay offshore itong 13? Possibility lang naman ito eh. Pwede din po ilagay sa ibang bridges ng Calbayog na matataas na pwede malakas din ang supply ng hangin. Basta hindi lang po sa protected area. There are 37 wind turbines. Yung 24 po, labas sa protected area, wala po kaming reklamo doon. Pero itong 13 lang na kung saan, andun yung pinagkukunan namin, iniinom namin ng tubig. Para po sa amin, this is a threat to our life, a threat to our future, and a threat to the economic sustainability of the province. So yun lang po, Governor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that explanation and for that presentation to Bishop Marquez. Thank you for coming up with this meeting. Actually, of course, with attorney and the rest of and WSSU and Water District. First, I would like to inform you that during the time that the Vena Energy, we met with the Vena Energy, I am with Governor Conchuan and the rest of the team, which is an investment officer. So we had a meeting with them together with BOI. And we discussed about this proposal and kung ano ang benefit ni Northern Samar, same ito ng benefit ni Maya Nakita. That's why I wonder how come they said na may nag-direct nga during that time, asya ito na ako binano nga sugrin nila nga makatugod na grid. Because this is the same po, sir. Taft Hydro, if you're familiar with Taft Hydro, and Benji Picardo. Nga maski no matter how, which Governor Ben Cardone also is asking. Nga, kaya ano nga ipabaligyan niya yung atuhan National Highway pa kumaagi na pwede naman i-direction na rin para mas cheaper. Pero of course, ngayon kasi nakapalong kasi ito ng malakot. So we cannot do anything about it. And I also asked it directly to Governor Ikot Petilia because he's the former DOE secretary. So during that time, may nakakihag to meeting and then Governor Ben is raising about the high cost of energy at kuryente. And then sige yan, what talaga about ito yung Taft Hydro. So he go, Petilia was in my other side. Insigat talaga ko niya, it doesn't work that way. But before pa kasi, I had a lecture for 2 hours with Secretary Petilia. That's why wala na ako magtingin because iyan na din-explain ha before pa. Since we also have a potential in Lulugayan, Albiga, Literon, for a mini hydro, and even in Santa Rita, at Dam, Hania, na po pwede ihapon. Pero, nagsaring ha ako ni Taft Hydro that if you will allow hydro in Lulugayan, Literon, definitely masisira yung tourism mo. So, kaya wag na. So, during that time, nag-discuss kami ito, that's why nagpukang kami hanggang ng Lulugayan because we don't want also to compromise the sustainability of tourism in that area, especially that duhaan ang dito may nakita ang third largest cave in Southeast Asia and the Lulugayan Falls. So, ito niya aspect, definitely, sir, rest assured that the province of Samar will always, kumbaga, seek nga safety and well-being ng mga tao. But then, during the meeting, hininga ka ng Vena, nakala kami kay ako pa nga ng vocal asking kung po pwede magdirekta ang Calbayog City kasi dako man yan na nag-produce na energy, so na power, we might as well pinili kami hanamon need ng Calbayog with a lower cost, pero still, hindi talaga yan pwede. So wala na kami maka-insist ni Governor Unchuli that time. But na-discuss ko naman na usap ka with Northern Samar and the rest hindi hapon. Now with the 24 and the 15, and 15 will be in inside the protected area which happened to be our watershed, kaya dito tanong source. Ang unang po ang question, kasi anak ko pagkaintindi ko hindi during her presentation, may parang study or the system na ginagamit niya para to check kung hain ang strongest na way na makapapacture na ng energy. Number one na to. So second is possible na yung umayin bilang area because siguro mataas. Now, as to kung masaling kita 24 is good na hiya, but the 15 but the 12 is not. Pwede kong baliwat kami magpabuli ka iyo. Siguro we will work hand in hand with Vena kung hain another alternative na po pwede nga location na pwede butangan itong at 12. Okay. So, we want to ask Vena maglumusa din haaton and then we will engage with you para ma-assure na lalawat ka mo nga diri kita mawawalan ng tubig na ni. Of course, we don't want that to happen, especially for Calbayog, na nakuliwan, especially for poblasyon, na kundi nag-need in volume ng tubig. Now, in the other hand, since a protected area is mixed use, that's why siguro na inkita, because at the end of the day, ang ako, asya magulan na kabutang mixed use, which what I like it ako dito because ada na ko dito na DNR na appreciation nila. Now, in the end, pwede naman, we will request DNR ang among laugarin na darayan ang paso dito ka SINP, dito ka second district because honestly, we don't know kung hino ang paso din Calbayog, di rin ba na-participate na di rin ba napakitaan mo. So, yun na namin yung bibiling diwa. So, maybe we can also ask an opinion ng DNR. And maybe DNR will also assess nga to kung paano natin yung win-win situation that the investor can fully implement the project and at the same time, our source of water will not be compromised. So, if it's okay with you, ako na niyahatag, sir, pwede ba natin makuha yung idea about this problem? And then for the next meeting, we will ask Vena to come over, their technical team, and then also react. But before, nato harap opportunity because in all honesty, in our administration, especially it happened mga implementation of the project and programs, usually natin bumuhat. If there will be a problem that will raise to me, make sure mga staff, make sure that you have a solution to give. So, for the meantime, nga kita pala ng Rostoria, we will do our assessment, we will do our homework or assignment para mag-abot ni Vena and then an energy and form. Then dito natin ma-raise ang another problem and at the same time, somehow we will give also part of the solution yung kung pwede naman maging amicable ito na rin. So may I ask DNR to give us enlightenment about this problem?
Sayang lang kasi, pero ibabalhin lang.
Thank you, Lord.
Balhin lang. At least open sila. Balhin lang, oo.
At first, we'll start with yung na-mention na nito, yung policy. Actually, in a protected area, based on sa policy natin na Department Administrative Order 2018-01, clarifying the pag-identify ng zoning within a protected area. That yung particularly in Section 6, specify anong naging criteria for protection zone at saka multiple use. So, in itself is para define the allowable uses. Now, sa multiple use zone, in that case, the violet color, sinasabi doon sa 6.2, Section 6.2, na yung sinasabi niya yung mga pwede ma-include as multiple use zone, yung areas of settlement, areas with high recreational and tourism, educational, environmental awareness area, and lastly, nakalagay doon, areas for facilities and structure of national significance such as telecommunication facilities to include energy power generation. So that I think open up doors for all protected areas in the Philippines na may mga layunin mag-propose ng mga ganitong project like energy power generation. But notwithstanding, of course, yung sinasabi yung impact on yung green project over yung sinasabi trade-off between conservation and development. Mayroon nag-give up yan. On the question of whether anong magiging opinion ng DNR, firstly, kami po ay hindi naman kami ang decision-making body solely kasi represented by mga stakeholders yung pamilya niya. So ang gusto ko emphasize dyan is, tama po kayo. In situation like this, kailangan science-based yung decision-making approach. And I think yung sinasabing spatial cost-benefit analysis imperative, kailangan natin yan. Alin ba ang decision variable i-allow ba natin for development of installation of power supply or management as is or whatever. Makikita yung resources at makikita yung kung anong magiging decision. Ang second is yung kay attorney po, yung impact. We cannot just say na magkakaroon ng impact yan. Dapat we quantify to what extent po ang damage, the impact on human settlement, impact on the biodiversity, lahat yun pinag-aaralan din sa mapapag-quantify sana. Now, in the case, for that, in doing that, DNR has no plan for that, and perhaps yung expertise niya is medyo malalim ang kailangan. Yun ang maganda, dapat i-ano natin sa pena. Pero na siya ang mag-commission ng mga magagaling na mga expert on this doing spatial cost-benefit analysis and at the same time impact analysis. Kasi kailangan ito ng mga expert. So, doon siguro, but at the same time, siguro sir, sundan ko rin yung sinabi mo, ang nagiging blind tayo kasi hindi ko pa rin alam din. I don't know if you are aware of nag-present na ba sila ng Comprehensive Development and Management Plan. To which yung concern kanina ay naka-angkoro, sasabihin may kalsada na gawin. Hindi man-capture natin yan dyan. So I hope that presentation will be available also para doon din tayo makikita kung anong magiging dapat yan. So far, hindi ko pa nakita yung CDNP niyan or IDP, Indicative Management Plan. So I cannot comment of what will be talaga to the extent na anong magiging impact kasi nga wala pang details na gagawin. Now, kaya nga, on the presentation, yung mga permits na kailangan sa DNR, nakabimbing pa for further yung lalo na yung mga issues ninyo. I hope that you have already raised that issue sa PAMBI. And that the PAMBI siguro in their recommendation come up with yung sa suggestion sa PINA na gumawa ng mga study ng ganun. I think yun na rin ang proper venue to do that. Again, in relation kay Bob na sinasabi, we will look into doon sa technical review side. Kasi yung sa application ng in-mutual instrument, which is of course kailangan din kayo mag-apply po yun sa water resource permit ninyo. And mayroon siyang technical review to which yung mga expert ng DENR doon mag-comment yung sa plug at saka SAPA na application. So doon kami medyo titignan. Kaya nga kung process pa, because some of the attachment or needed information ay kailangan pa i-substantiate ng PERA energy project. At saka wala pa akong plano in terms of, kasi wala pang temporary inventory, at for sure, bago namin i-araw yun, kailangan muna ayusin yung concern ninyo. And so, other concern related to that project, para at least naman lang, pag mag-implement na, wala nang problema. So, yun lang po. Kami naman po ay open for any, kung baka, basta mapag-usapan na po dito, is consultative meeting. Thank you po.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Governor, for the assurance that you are going to consider also our request. So, Bishop, is there something that you would like to say?
Yeah, the governor also mentioned a while ago that in our next meeting, she will invite the VENA. I think it's necessary, I told her just a while ago, for VENA to present to us their comprehensive plan so that those from Calvario go to the district and then DE and Bayo in general, we can give our comments after the presentation of the comprehensive plan of the VENA. Okay, so we need to say after this my meeting, Pakita.
Yes po, and probably we can also invite by then Mayor Mon, Vice Mayor Rex, and the barangay captains of those barangays that will be affected by the project.
Yes po, attorney, kasi usually, na-appoint si Colera Amon para makasunod ng province and of course with the mayor for that specific municipality or city na concern. And then second, that's the time that they will seek na audience at Mapambi to present their project. Right now, an update because may mga concerns kita regarding ang aton protected area, dito ang aton resolution na hindi kita na-oppose. Pero, with the conditions, present anay you provide these documents para makita anay natin kung ano kung dila kita ma-decide kung this will parang makaka-problema kita na tubig na source or may na ba other impact na dihan natin lugar. So, we will coordinate with VENA through our investment office para gihapon kung ano ang era documents na ready na pwede nila ma-present kayo because as of now, they did not present pa ang total master development plan that they will do. So, I'm also grateful to this group because at least nag-heads up na huwag naman yung mga concerns para motivate na kung ano naman sometimes nahimo na nga talaga study tapos nila makita ma-raise another issue, then they will go back for another study with in response dito natin concern. So, I really appreciate nga may ada kita sumadili na Orsoria. Thank you, Bishop, for facilitating us and attorney. Kasi kung ano ang atong mga concerns right now, we might as well ibutang na natuhan nila study na ano ang iyong mga requirements ang mga atong ang iyong ginanglan ibutang dito ay dapat na output para may present ko ang ganihaan. And then for us also to weigh things. Is this viable or if it's not? At the end of the day, I still believe that first, we need to have self-preservation. So, before anything else, you can think of in a national context, but we need to parang first see what the situation on ground. So, we will invite them para kung ano ang data pwede nila latag na gihatod. Tapos mahit sa tanan water. We are open, but of course, we're hoping that they consider na out na natin na to protected area para di lang na-compromise sa natin watershed. But if it's not applicable because scientifically they said that this is the only area that is intended na maka-generate the mga energy, then we might as well ask them, okay, so if that's the case, can you give us your study on how we will be assured that our watershed will not be destroyed? And second, paano ba ini ang aton kung may naman kang marurupa? Okay, because I always believe in an adaptive use and aton resources. So it doesn't mean that we will always be in a conservative situation, but it might be a way of rebuilding it. So ano maluwag na paagi na ma-rebuild natin ang mga marurupa, even outside the protected area, that is still part of summer, so kinahanglan natin na maalagaan natin yung environment. So those are the things na dapat tuwag natin the message is clear to the investor. So ayaw rin nakabaraka ay amon ba ini, we will make sure that ato mga concerns hiniyan ng ato meeting will be raised up accordingly and properly to the said investor.
A while ago, the governor mentioned that if we can also look for an alternative areas, where the actually transfer up 13 or 15 will provide. So I saw a Tony she was nodding her head, so I got the impression, so also with Arnold, that maybe there are alternative areas where we can possibly transfer. So by the time na mag-meeting sa Pina, because by the time ready na solution, nasiring na siya kung sa mga possible solution. So sana makamayaan na diba kung nga mausa na. And the very reason also, Governor, while last meeting we decided to invite also the barangay captains for Sir Arnold also to enlighten the barangay captains, because we heard that the barangay captains, yes na sila, yes to people because of the economic benefits and the other social benefits. But I think it is also our responsibility to enlighten the barangay captains as to the effect, the long-term effect of this budget, to enlighten them naman. Okay.
And in addition, before Manalita natin, during our meeting, nakatulad ng Northern South Manatee, kung whatever na maihatag na benefits such as share, monetary share, para itong output of that investment, and ako doon assure kayo that fund will be intended for those barangays na involved. Because asya kasi ito na daling ng nasasalitan ng barangay nga diri-dira na aabat kung ano man ang benefit, may hiraan ng sakripisyo. Just like us here in Region 8, di ba, ang aton geothermal. Pero di kita nagbe-benefit ito, di ba, ano na Region 8, pero kaya ito mga 13 to 14 pesos sa naton kuryente. So, those are the things, although kung tigil na ini, pero kung may naman kita collection dito, I will also convince the mayor na kung ano man ang era makolekta, ano ang makolekta ang province, it will be, that fund will be utilized for the development and improvement of the said barangays. Para maabato talaga ang tao dito mga specific barangays. And kung ano man na they're give up, may dalawa din return ng kaya. So I think that is the most just na only one for the local government unit. Not to utilize those funds, had ibang purpose. Just like here in the province, all of the income coming from PhilHealth, like for example hospital, I directed it na gagastuson niya health programs, not to other developmental programs nga pagkagalitan. Because gusto na ako niya umabat liwat, kung nagsakripisyo ang hospital, nag-earn ang hospital ito, it should be i-give back natin ng hospital, be it the employees who benefit it, be it the hospital for the improvement, or be it the patients na maka-avail ng better service. So same ihapon ito niya ni natin investors niya. Kung ano ang makukuha natin out of it, it will go back to the community of that said area. So, thank you po kayo pagpahihon dito ako. So, Sir Manong.
We are very thankful sa inyong chance na ginhatag na mag-sit down for second, another round of presentation na kung di ang mga concerns and yung mga waters, the environmental groups ng Calbayo, and the civil society will be addressed. We welcome the idea that VENA will be coming over, presenting their data, their scientific study, and we will also at Northwest Samar State University house our expertise and resources so we can bring in experts where we can find a stronger and reliable wind power na kundi pwede ma-relocate in mga wind turbines. At least this is a welcome development that the province of Samar opened its ears and its heart to hear the concerns of the people on the ground. Just yesterday I came from Kapalogan, meeting an local Cultural Arts Council and the Tourism Council. I was representing the NCCA, and I'm very glad that nanundamo na ang mga local tourism sites sa Samar, and this is generating a lot of revenue, jobs, and improvement. And I actually announced in advance that there will be upcoming wind turbines project in Calbayo, and this will really boost the tourism industry, and this will add up to a good portfolio of the tourism capital of Calbayo. However, may konting kailangan ayusin dahil merong problem din yung Calbayo waters, the people here. So, if we can find a common ground, and we can work together where we can put these things in its proper perspective, then I guess everyone will be happy, and this really tells about participatory development. Thank you very much, Governor Khan and Bishop Lawrence. May pahabol lang po ako. We'd like also to request the DNR na sana mag-extend po ng interview sa Radyo Pilipinas, sa Infinite Radio, o sa Campus Radio para ma-inform po yung public regarding ang project. Updates man lang dahil marami po ang hindi na i-inform. So, kung merong information na dumarating sa mga tao, mas guided sila. And they can start to clear yung mga uncertainties at mga worries ng ordinary citizens, lalo na yung constituents ng mga barangay captains. Yun lang po.
Sir, with respect doon sa race sa radio may directives kasi sa Secretary Euro Lesaga. Hindi po kami pwede, not unless may clearance po sa Office of the Secretary. So yung mga queries, pwede po ilas na lang muna sa regional office sa critic section doon kasi it can be addressed naman ng makatitingnan. Kasi may we can provide you a copy of that memorandum po. Kasi nagkaan lang kami kasi baka naman kami ang
alternative for that, nakikita ko magod talaga in every project, even us in the province, pag may na kami bagong project in the community, we always do the public consultation, even yan itang mga kalsada under, like for example, PRDB project, may na kami mga public consultation, and then we also inform the community. So we might as well ask them to also collaborate with the collaboration and DNR in the province and city na kumatuha ground para i-address natin. And then the questions sa natin mga tao dito, community and the concerned sectors, ma-address nila. So, we are so open for that. Oo, and actually, ang goal na lang talaga is to invite investors in Malihagon Provincia. And when in fact, din yung Almayo City, we also invite Save More, kaya it will also generate employment in Malihagon. We try to negotiate right now. We're hoping, we're crossing our fingers na maldayon na nato din invite nga call center.
BPO.
BPO. Kay, I think Calvario is ready for that. So, we're hoping because at the end of the day, kung na nato tao makatunga Manila to work in a call center, mas mahal po ang era overhead expenses. So, it would be break-even lahat. Rabay mapapadalapan ka na. Ngati ka ang probinsya. Pero kung lalo na nato narinig, and ako na assurance, nasinyan po ang investor nga, kung ano ang needs niyo as to the qualification ng ato mga employee, the province is very much willing to train. Kami na ang bahala pag-train. Kami, makita ko babay na naamon. At libre lo din yung training na natin mga prospects na pwede mag-apply. Basta nasi ka manila na kumali ka mo din haamon and then mag-invest ka mo din haamon that will generate income na haamon probinsya, particularly for Calvario City. So, kumbaga in a nutshell, we always want to prioritize kung ano ang makakaubay para natin i-ensure. Thank you.
Last concern, when Energy is coming to Samar for development projects, we'd like to know also if Regional Development Council is also aware of these particular projects, or are there communications and coordinations with the RDC para nga po makabulig sila to assist us in finding solution to this particular concerns?
We will look into that, sir. Kaya as of now, hindi pa na ang provincial level pero why not na i-communicate yan to the regional level because there are so many requirements needed to that they should provide para naman mabitbit at the regional level. But we will ask them if they can supplement na to RDC. Thank you.
Thank you, Go. And again, thank you, Bishop, for facilitating and for making sure that this meeting will push through today. Originally, this was set at 1:30 and then moved to 10 o'clock, but anyway, we were able to do it although the delay lang. So, to summarize, looking forward, CCWD, CDCI, that's the Calvario Water Company, and the civil society groups together with North Samar State University, we will work together so that when Lina comes, we will be able to present to them alternative sites for the wind turbines project outside of the protected area. As to the schedule, will that be handled by your office, Governor? So that we will have an idea how, when will it be, in a week's time, in 2 weeks, or a month's time, so that we will also know on our end and be able to prepare when that meeting will happen.
Yes, I'll get your number na siguro for updates. I will coordinate with Bella first. Actually, meron ng inaantay na schedule with regard to the presentation of the EIS. That's for the technical scoping and that's for the issuance of the ECC. One of the requirements of the presentation, technical scoping, na-raise kasi ni Sir na si Kapitan daw hindi naka-join. It's either hindi siya nag-attend or hindi siya na-invite. Pero si EMP kasi invited lahat. So, marami kaming
cases na ganyan sir sa aming projects na hindi sila in-invite ko. Sa totoo lang, in-invite talaga lahat ng mga stakeholders. So that's for the public scoping. So yung typical scoping lahat, invited, bishop. So all the stakeholders will be invited para i-present yung sinabi na impact. Kaya medyo natagalan siguro sa DNR for the review. Kasi nga, kinoconsider lahat. Kasi 5 yan eh. Hindi lang tubig tsaka tao. Kinoconsider yung noise, yung air, tsaka yung other, yung sa land. So, yun yung mga kinoconsider na impacts ng lahat. So, i-check namin kasi kailangan deliver na final na yung study nila before 1%. So, we will just coordinate through attorney kung kailan tayo. Then siguro kami na lang yung mag-invite.
Attorney, after this meeting, I'll ask Brad to call them para they can set a schedule kung kailan kung saan harap ang kalihaan. And then we will give you feedback. The latest will be tomorrow, mamahatag yan feedback kayo. Oo, para at least sure lang. Second, lastly, I would like to apologize na na-change ang ating schedule. Kasi nangalimot po ako ngayon na may nanadlaw at day 1 na naman campaign. So nagpapulpul pa naman schedule, Bishop. And anak ng daughter ko kasi, wala akong politika pero anak ng daughter, may play na nangakulog. And then 3 days consecutive na po ako niya naging kukulit niya mag-attend good na laga. So, may mommy duty din po ako yan this afternoon. That's why naarul ako dispensa na waray na move na sa schedule this morning. Again, thank you for responding positively to what that happened request. I know na di ka pa, Bishop and Attorney di ka Cebu. Opo, so, pero grateful po kami that we had a very productive meeting today, and whatever your concerns na i-raise up yan na, definitely ako po ipapakot tayo. Mga salamat. Thank you.
Sila man ang mag-coordinate sa BINA, no? Mangayon ako if BINA can give us 3 possible dates to choose from. Because tagal na kami like sa date and not everybody is available. So 3 possible days for us to choose from where we can make ourselves available on that day. Because this is a very great opportunity for us to be talking to the BINA people. No? Okay?
Thank you for the suggestion, Bishop. And I would also...
I can also, if you like this place, if you like this, I can offer the same place also. So I need 3 possible days because